Greetings, this is M squared, and we're going to describe some transformations of functions. And if you look at this little chart, it kind of tells you what moves things left, right, up, down, reflects over x and y, and vertically and horizontally stretches and shrinks. So keep these in mind. You might want to make a little note card of these, copy this, print it off, save it, memorize it, because these are so important even as you go on in math. When you go, this is algebra 2, but as you go up to pre-calculus, this is really important. In calculus, you want to know what the graph looks like and how it's changed. So with that in mind, I'm going to now move on and not refer to this picture, but refer to what happens. So you'll need that to just keep that in mind. So sometimes they ask you what the parent function is, and the parent function here is y equals x. It's a linear function. The parent function here is an absolute value function, so that's the y equals absolute value of x. Here it's the quadratic function, y equals x squared, and again here it's the absolute value function. So that's a nice to know when you're trying to graph these. But we're just going to describe the transformation. So when we describe the transformation, what happened? We have a 3 being multiplied on the outside. Well, according to our chart, when something's multiplied on the outside of x, that's a vertical shrink or stretch. And we can, because this number is bigger than 1, we know it's vertically stretched. So the 3 tells me I'm vertically stretching it, stretching the parent function. The 7 is not in any kind of parentheses, so I know that that's an up and down movement, and since it's a negative, I know that the -7 tells me I moved down 7. So that is how that guy is transformed. So that's the difference between graphing y equals x and graphing 3x minus 7. Your graph, the y-intercept would be down 7, and the slope would be steeper. It would be a factor of 3 steeper. Okay, over here, this negative tells me I reflected over the x-axis. The 2, just like in this one, tells me I vertically stretched. This 3, since it's inside the absolute value signs, tells me I moved right, because when it's negative inside the absolute value sign, it moves right. When it's positive, it moves left, or any kind of parentheses. And then this tells me I moved up 5. So I would say, in my little beautiful thing, I would say it reflects over the x-axis. It's vertically stretched. And you have to kind of figure out what your teacher, exactly what they want. And then I would say I moved right 3 and up 5. Alrighty, over here you'll notice I have something out in front again. So it's still a vertical stretch or shrink, but because it's between 0 and 1, I'm vertically I vertically shrink this time. So it's a vertical shrink, and then I move negative, so I move right 2 and down 4. Okay, this one, I've got a number inside and outside. So this one, when it's greater than 1, vertically stretches it. This one, horizontally, when the number inside is bigger, it horizontally shrinks it. So it's kind of hard for some kids to remember, because when it's bigger than 1 here, it shrinks, and when it's bigger than 1 here, it stretches. So anyway, reflects over x, vertically stretches, horizontally shrinks, and moves down 8. Sorry. So if you remember all those transformation little formulas at the beginning, this goes so much easier. So make sure you write that down in some sort of little chart, or just memorize it. And this is a little bit tricky. Just go step by step. Good luck with that. M squared signing out.